Hi, this is Rebecca from Tech Central inside the Hart Memorial Library of the Osceola Library System, and welcome to Tech Tips from Tech Central. In this video, we're going to be teaching you how to sew a buttonhole on the Brother CS6000i computerized sewing machine. It is very easy. It does pretty much everything for you, but there is a little bit of setup. So the very first thing you're going to need to do is to change your stitch. From the menu here, we're going to select number 30, which is one of the few options for buttonholes. So to change your stitch number, you're going to go to your LCD screen. Using this button here, change it to 30, and it'll tell you that you need attachment A. If you look in your accessory bag that comes in the front compartment of your sewing machine, you'll find this presser foot, which has the number or the letter A on it. Before we attach it, we are going to measure our button so that it knows how big of a buttonhole to sew. So what we're going to do is attach the button in there, close that up, just like that, and that tells the machine how big of a buttonhole to sew. So to change the presser foot, there's a lever at the back here. You just push on it and it drops the presser foot off. To attach the new one, just line up this metal bar underneath and it will snap into place. Just like that. You're going to make sure that the feed dogs are down. It should be automatic, but there is a lever at the back of the machine where you slide over just to make sure. The next thing to do is to pull down the buttonhole stitch lever, which is on the left-hand side of the needle. It stops it right there. Okay, so now you're ready to get started. You're going to slip in your fabric here, and you're just going to want to hold the top thread off to the side a little bit so to make sure it doesn't get tangled up in your stitching. Okay, the final step before you begin sewing your buttonhole is to pull down the buttonhole lever on the left-hand side, and it's going to fit in between the two notches on the presser foot. That is the guide for the sewing machine for the size of the buttonhole to sew. Once your fabric is in place and your presser foot is down, you're just going to put your foot on the foot pedal and it'll do all the work for you, even coming to a stop when it's finished. Okay, so you're going to want to make sure it comes to a complete stop before you lift the presser foot. That lets you know that it's done. When you lift the presser foot, it will reset the buttonhole. So make sure you wait. So you're going to lift the presser foot with the lever on the side. Bring up the needle. Slide out your fabric. And there is your buttonhole. Now you can use a seam ripper to gently poke through the fabric and very carefully rip the fabric between the buttonhole stitches. And there is your buttonhole. Easy peasy. Here is a closer look of what your machine is doing when it's sewing a buttonhole. I forgot to mention that you should always place your sewing at the very front of the buttonhole placement, or at the bottom, because it's going to start at the bottom, work its way back or up, and then come back down. So you're going to want to make sure that you're starting forward enough for the room to go back. Once the presser foot is down, all you're going to do is put your foot on the foot pedal and it'll do its job. Okay, so it's come to a complete stop on its own. That means it's finished. Now is when you can raise the presser foot and the needle and pull out your fabric.